Hello everybody and welcome. This is a crazysmarts.com production. Today we're going to show you how to launch an attack. Basically we're going to be using three main programs, and that's going to be nmap, nessus, and metasploit. So let's waste no time and let's get started. I like to make some folders to help keep this attack organized. So I'm going to make an nmap and a nessus folder. Then I'm going to move into the nmap folder and I'm going to create hosts and a sweep file, or sweep folder, excuse me. And then we're going to move into the sweep folder and then we're going to launch our attack. So sudo nmap minus sp for ping sweep, and then the subnet you would like to attack. This is a class C network in our case, so /24 will be sufficient, and then we need to output that to a file that we'd like to call it. So I'm just going to call it something that I'll remember, sweep.txt. And this is a pretty quick attack here, and we should get some results. And in fact we did. 7 hosts are alive on the network, and let's see if that did write out to the file. And in fact it did, but let's organize this a little bit. We're going to grep host, and then we're going to cut with the delimiter of space in field 2. Let's see how that looks, and that looks very nice. So let's output that to the host folder that we just created and name it what you would like, hosts.txt. Now let's move to that hosts folder and make sure that it actually did right and that it looks okay. And in fact it does. But let's take our IP out because we don't want to attack our IP address. So I'm the node 113, so I'm going to take that out and I'm going to exit. Now let's open up Nessus, our vulnerability scanner, and we're going to use that file we just created to help assist our attack. So we're going to choose host in a file, and we're going to select the file that we just created under nmap hosts, and there it is. If we did this correctly, we should see our list of targets on the left side. Great. Now we need to connect to the Nessus server. So in our case it's running on our local host. You could run this on a separate server if you'd like. It's basically going to load all of the vulnerability plugins. The more plugins the better, because then it's able to find more vulnerabilities. So once this is loaded, we're going to change some default scan options. We do this by clicking the edit button, and I go to the options page, and I like to change host in parallel to 10, and I like to change checks in parallel to 10. This is a good setting so it doesn't bog down the network and people don't get denial of service. So I like to also check all of the support scan options. Unless you're trying to be stealth, I recommend doing that, and make sure safe checks is enabled. That way if it finds a vulnerability that could potentially be denial of service, it's not going to attempt that denial of service on the system. So we select default scan policy and we're going to scan now. So if you've done this correctly, you should start to see some IP addresses here on the left side. Basically this is your report where while it's scanning you can view some of the vulnerabilities. So this scan is going to actually take you a half hour to an hour depending on how big the subnet is and vulnerabilities that it finds. So what I've done to speed this up is I've already got an HTML file that it's exported. So I'm going to show you what a sample report looks like in Nessus so you can get an idea of what you're looking at. I just want to show you one of the high severity problems that I found on my network. Node 108 has a very big problem, and I want to show you that. So if I scroll down, just missed it, I'm going to show you that this system is vulnerable to a service crafted RPC request handling. Basically, if we look, there's a patch already out, MS0867, and those of you familiar with Metasploit know that there is an 0867 module already built into Metasploit to try and exploit this system. So what we're going to do next is use the program Metasploit to try and exploit this system and gain system level privileges to the machine. So this is part 1 of the series, and this is a Crazy Smarts production. So if you'd like to continue on, watch part 2. I hope you enjoyed your stay.